Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to yet another episode of Broman Brapsody. And today we are switch out 2 wheels for 4. And guess who I'm with here? It's the professor, the man, the myth. Hang on a second, you're not the professor. He's the other professor. He's Professor Chaos. How are you?
I'm the mini professor.
The mini professor. And what do we have here?
We have a 2017 Cayman S, or 718 as it's known, and it is badass.
I'm sure it looks badass. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about the car. Of course, we are. I'm going to take it. I'll show you around the car, show you some of the features. I'll take it out for a spin. I'll take it out on the road for a spin. Share my thoughts with you guys. Talk about the cost of ownership and assign it a Broman score. But before we do all of that, I know you have tons of options when it comes to car and motorcycle videos and reviews. I appreciate you choosing us. And please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. We put out content every week and your support would mean a lot. It's me, it's your boy Bro, and I am your Broman. His Instagram handle is Professor Chaos 911. So I've always imagined you with a 911. I mean, it's a Porsche. So what made you pick a Cayman over a 911?
Well, it's interesting you say that because I picked that name when I was still a teenager and didn't have the money to own a Porsche or even look at a Porsche.
That was 2 years ago, right?
Basically. Yeah. And and then picked the 911 because they're badass, they're great cars. And that was until I actually started racing, and they're still amazing cars. But the Cayman, the 911s, they've become more of GT cars. I mean, they still perform well on the racetrack, but they're a little bit bigger, they're a little bit heavier. This car is much more nimble. It stays more true towards the sport car heritage, even though it's underpowered compared to a 911, but it's just so nimble. It's basically like a Miata on steroids, and I don't know if some people think that's an insult or not, but Miatas handle incredibly well on track.
He's serious about his track days, be it on the motorcycles or his cars. By the way, he's the same guy with the V2 Bayless that we unboxed and Hypermotor that you sold.
That I sold since then, yes.
So maybe after I do this video, you're gonna sell this car. And if you do, I'll give you $10 for it.
Okay, well, I have one offer.
No, but thank you so much, man. And I'm assuming just like with the 911s, the Caymans would have had multiple trim levels.
Yes.
And you went with the S.
Yes.
What made you pick the S versus the base Cayman or the other ones?
Well, it's a couple of things. It's a good question. To me, it depends on skill level, right? So you don't want to go for the biggest and the baddest if your skill level doesn't match. I wanted something that was reachable within my skill level. And I was actually at the Porsche dealership with my other Porsche, and I was getting some work done at it, and they had this Cayman S there. And that was between this and a GTS. I felt like a GTS is something in a car that I could get close to its limits. So while I was waiting, I test drove the car, and this has an aftermarket exhaust on it, Fab Speed. Oh, I fell in love with it right then and there. The loud exhaust, the power delivery, the speed, it blew me away. So the base model is a little bit too base and a little bit below my skill level. This is close to the top of my skill level, but still enough room for improvement. And I was really between the GTS, but I mean, I drove this car, I fell in love with it, and I had to have it.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's how most of us fall in love with our cars and bikes and all the other toys.
True.
Yeah, boys never grow up. It's just the toys get bigger.
Pretty much, and more expensive.
Yeah, much more expensive.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, you mind if we do a quick walk around of this car?
Do whatever you want to do with it.
It's got those beautiful LED headlamps, man. Beautiful LED headlamps, and guess what? It's got a frunk. It's a mid-engine car, so of course it's got a frunk. It's got a
frunk and a rear trunk.
Oh, you got both? You got some junk in the trunk and some in the frunk, huh?
You got both of this.
And to open the trunk, Chris here showed me a cool little way to do it. Did it, what, 4 fingers?
Yeah, just touch it by the, yep, right there. Just hold it there. Oh, you got to be closer to the car, man. Come on.
Fine.
There you go.
There you go. Then there's a little latch in here, this red thing. Yep. Check it out in all its glory.
And that's where the engine is not supposed to be.
Yeah. Check this out. It's a deep storage space here, yeah?
You could store a small child in here.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Need to.
but you don't, yeah, really need to, yeah. There's some parts hidden underneath here.
Yeah, go for it, lift it up.
There you go. You have your
Easy
battery,
access.
your wiper fluid, all of that fun stuff down here. Pretty cool.
One of the things that I love about Porsche is how easy they are to work on. I've had BMWs before, and it's almost as if BMW says, please don't work on your car, we hate you. But Porsche is all about ease and convenience, and you see, this is just, it's so easy to get to the right part that you're looking for, you know? So, Porsche, great job. It's got a front light, and it's got, check this out. Boom. Tow hook, lug wheel nut, but I don't use that because I switched mine out. And it's got an air compressor in there too, which you saw it for right here to inflate a flat tire, because this does not come with a spare.
And check this out, the side profile, 20-inch wheels, red brake calipers, and Chris told me these are not the standard wheels or the stock wheels. He's got bigger wheels and rims on it.
Zoom in here. Take a look at this here. You see these little cracks?
Yeah.
This means you know how to brake. This means you're hitting up your brakes and you're cracking your rotors, which is what I'm doing. And if they connect, I'm in big trouble. So I got to change these out soon.
Check out the line, the sweeping roof line. Looks so beautiful. You know, this looks like a baby 911. Tail lights are all LED. LED tail lights, turn signals, reverse lights, all of that fun stuff. And the best part about this car, the really bestest part about this car is that thing right there. Those are the exhausts by Fab Speed, and this is a catback exhaust.
This is a catback exhaust, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
And right above the exhaust sits your backup sensors.
Yep.
So, and again, like even in the back, in case you've forgotten what kind of car you're driving, it tells you, hey, I'm a Porsche. And which kind of Porsche are you? Well, I'm a 718 Cayman S, and the S here is in red, so it means business.
And the reason why there are so many is because Porsche drivers don't have a good memory, so we like to remind ourselves what we're driving.
I want to show you guys something. This is the Porsche key. Look at it. Looks like the car. Looks like the car. And then you have the Porsche logo here. Unlock, lock, frunk, and trunk. How cool is that? All right, so let's do the trunk. And you actually have a decent amount of storage here. Decent space here. You can throw in a couple of duffel bags, I guess.
A couple of duffel bags, believe it or not. I had a couple of beach chairs in here a couple of weeks ago, and a few other things. And yeah, it gives you more space than you'd imagine.
And then underneath all of that is the engine. And if you look there, those are what look like cup holders. Those are little storage spaces on the side. So right by the driver's side door, you have your air intakes, and these are to cool your brakes, because you'll be doing some serious braking, and also to get your engine some air. Why is it in the back? Because that's where the engine sits. It's a mid-engine car. Let's take a look at the door here. Soft touch materials everywhere, nothing hard, nothing nasty. You have speakers by Bose, you have memory seats, aluminum door handles, and then you have your window controls and mirror controls over here. Again, on the door sill, Chris, if you open the car door and you forget which kind of car you're driving, Cayman S. You have a parking brake down there. On the left are your headlight controls, and then this is a little fake looking key. But that's what you have to turn this car on. Why is it on the left hand side? Well, this is paying homage to the days of the Le Mans racing days. You got in the car and every second mattered, so they put the keys on the left. Oh, also on the left hand side, on the driver's side, you have your frunk and trunk release, and the seats have electric power seat controls. And check this out, that's the steering wheel. That's the steering wheel of the Porsche. It's a gorgeous steering wheel. You have paddle shifters on the back, your turn signals right behind there, wiper stuck on the other side, and cruise control again on the left. That's your little dash. This is your speedometer, tachometer, and that's the wild card. I like to call it the wild card. That gives you a bunch of information that you can toggle through.
That's exactly right.
And stuff. Turn it on and
go for it.
I like how it sounds.
And that's in the softer sound. If you zoom out a little, there's this knob right here that adjusts different drive modes. So this is in Sport, and this is in Sport Plus. Well, because the car is warming up, you can't hear the difference, but when the car is warmed up, you can definitely notice a difference.
All right, and here we have those different screens. That is gonna give you your, let me zoom in on that sucker. Yeah, so the first screen is your vehicle information, your different. It's telling you your boost, your engine temperature, transmission temperature, all of that good stuff. It gives you a fuel range on top. You can access your Bluetooth audio settings from here. And then it also has navigation, and this is something that Porsche does that's so cool.
I love this.
I've seen it on the Cayman, I've seen it on the Boxster, on the Cayenne, on the Panamera. All of them have that little cool thing there. You get your navigation in that third dial, your trip, and your tire pressure.
It does display that once you get moving.
Oh, and look at that. Is that a timer?
That is a timer. That is that timer right there that you're seeing, that clock right there. You can't see past my
yeah.
There it is. That moves and it looks cool.
Oh wow.
And here's the most technologically advanced part. Are you ready for it?
Yes, sir.
You're already zooming into it. You knew where I was gonna go with that. Look at this. Bam, bam, and here's the magic part. Bam.
Oh.
Look at that.
Look at that. Cup holders, special cup holders, air vents, and then this is your funky little infotainment screen.
Yeah, and the cool thing is you can't see it now because we don't have anything playing, but when you have music playing and you move your hand here, controls pop up. Here are all the screens. Navigation, map, home screen, and this is all touch screen as well.
So you can access your media, whatever. Ah, that's cool, man.
Yep.
Then that's your temperature controls. You have heated and cooled seats. We have a little shifter here. I like how they put a little aluminum insert on top.
Yep, that little cutout for your thumb. It makes it feel good.
Makes it feel good. And again, it tells you it's a 718.
Again, bad memory.
718.
Need to be reminded.
Yeah, hazards, and that's to unlock your lock or unlock your doors. You can change your suspension, turn off your traction control. That's for the spoiler, right?
That's for the spoiler rip if you want to raise it
or lower it. Sport exhaust, although you don't need a sport exhaust setting with your aftermarket
This
part.
does nothing on my car.
And then that's the auto start stop. I hate that auto start stop. Should always be turned off.
I agree.
And you have a bunch of other blank buttons here, which I'm assuming are for the higher trim levels.
Yep, for the higher trim levels, correct.
And then you have a little storage space here, a cigarette lighter style power outlet. And then we have our center console, this little armrest. Open it up. That's got some more storage space and a USB outlet. I'm 5'10". And look at it. So much space.
And I'm 6 feet. And I'm in a hat.
Yeah. As for your legroom, plenty of legroom. Plenty of legroom, plenty of room on the sides. This might look like a small car from the outside, but it's actually pretty good inside.
It's more spacious than you'd imagine it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And how does it work like as an in-town car?
You know, it's interesting. I try not to drive it too much because I get into trouble, but when I do drive it, I'll admit it, I like some of the attention. There's a place that I really like here in Cary. It's called Fusion 9. It's got great drinks, great food, and whenever I go there, I kind of feel in a good vibe, good atmosphere. And yes, I do get a lot of attention there. People do come up and say, "Hey, nice car," or you know, "Where'd you get it?" and all that type of stuff. So yes, I do have fun with it that way.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, Fusion 9 is a great restaurant here in Morrisville, North Carolina. It's right off of the Morrisville Parkway. And we have good food, craft beer, all kinds of liquor. Everybody's welcome there, and Chris is a regular. He's always stopping by either on 2 wheels or 4 wheels. Do you happen to know what time it is?
Yes, I do. It is, hold on. Oh yeah, ride o'clock time.
It is ride o'clock. Let's go.
All right, now you're gonna be driving this and you gotta do me one favor. You gotta drive it like, not like it. There you go, that's it, now we're talking.
That's our pull test.
That's a pull test.
All it does. And the funny thing is that wasn't scripted.
No, it was not. And also, the funny thing is that was totally within speed limit.
Speed limits are just limits within our mind.
Yeah, apparently.
What are boundaries?
It's fun being a passenger in this when somebody's doing that.
It's more fun when you're not in control, man.
I noticed you switched driving modes because you were in normal mode before, and then when you switch up driving mode, so I know you're noticing this, but what happens is Your suspension tightens.
Yes.
Your auto start stop goes away, thankfully.
And it sounds so much better.
It sounds better. Yep, it opens up the exhaust, exactly. Throttle response is different, brake response is different. And you're gonna get to feel all of that.
And I'm in manual mode, so
Okay. Well, you're in temporary manual mode. So if you just change if you just change with the pedal shifters, it'll put it into like temporary mode. But, oh, you switched it to mode. Okay, but if you hit the shifter the way you did, then you're on full auto mode, manual mode.
And this car also has the PDK, so that's an 8-speed transmission, right?
7-speed.
7-speed.
Yep.
7-speed transmission, PDK. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce PDK or spell it out.
Porsche dual clutch. That's how you pronounce it. That's the actual word. It's
what?
not Porsche Guggen.
You just call it Porsche dual clutch.
That's the American version. The German version, I'm not gonna try to pronounce.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me put it in the fully automatic mode.
Well, fully automatic mode and Sport Plus mode.
Oh, that was a downshift?
That was a downshift.
Boy. All right, Chris, hold tight.
Hit it. So you notice it pulls harder when you go into manual mode versus the Sport Plus mode?
Yeah.
I just noticed that now with you.
That's what you said. Yeah, you're right. And you know the best part about this car, as you're going around these like little corners here, you don't really need to brake. you don't really need to brake. Maybe lift your foot off the gas just a little bit.
Yep.
And this thing feels so planted, and the shorter wheelbase helps.
Shorter wheelbase helps. So the Sport Plus suspension also helps. Very little body roll in this car. At least definitely not on the street.
None.
So it's interesting that this car adapts to your driving style. So if you take it out on the racetrack, after a while it's going to hold the gears completely tall and it's not going to short shift. If you're driving that on the street, it detects that you're driving in street mode, it'll short shift it sooner. On the previous version, it didn't do that. When you're in Sport Plus mode, it holds it to about 8,000 RPM and only then it shifts. This one, it detects your driving modes and it adapts to that.
And the upshift and downshifts are just like that.
Yeah, they're very quick.
There's no lag, there's nothing. Heck, I don't even feel a turbo lag.
Yeah, once you start really getting into it, there is some turbo lag. I think all the cars that have turbos, there's some turbo lag, but I will say there's very little here, right?
Yeah.
You're hardly noticing it.
Hardly, like.
At lower RPMs, it takes about 500 RPMs to spool up. At higher RPMs, it takes about 200-300 RPMs to spool up. So pretty quick when you did that whole, when you knocked me back in the seat. I think that was the manual mode, right?
Yeah, but I
try that again.
We can, but I think that was more fun because you weren't expecting it.
Yeah, I know, but still, it pulled.
All right, fine, I'll oblige.
There you go. It does respond better. Oh my God, manual mode responds better.
Much better.
Holy shit! I mean, holy shoot! I did not know that. I'm always driving Sport Plus on the racetrack. Okay, something new that I learned.
Even though we're in sport mode and we are going through some bumpy section of the road here, the suspension is still quite good. I mean, it's not uncomfortable.
Not for me.
It's bearable. I mean, even not for me, it's like bearable. It's almost as good or as bad as any GT car would be, any Grand Touring car would be.
I'd say that it's not breaking your neck, right?
It's not breaking my neck, breaking my back, none of that. But it's, you know what it's gonna be breaking? It's gonna be breaking my heart when I have to leave it with you.
It might also be breaking your license. You keep speeding the way you do.
Yeah, true.
Within speed limit, obviously, but you know.
I'm just doing what, 25 miles.
It is 25 miles per hour. That's exactly what I noticed on the speedometer.
It sounds amazing. I know it's an aftermarket exhaust, but it still sounds amazing.
I think so. I think it sounds great, and you can also hear the engine parts.
All of it. Like, you're driving a mid-engine car. It's sitting right behind you.
Exactly.
Now, which brings me to a question. I have 3 questions for these cars. Is this a good car for road trips?
I've done road trips in this car. Well, I think the longest one was about 4 hours.
Okay.
I was okay. I didn't hate life. That's the longest I went in the car within one sitting, and I was okay with it.
Trips are gonna be pretty much fun. I mean, you can road trip in anything, but in a car like this, you're pretty much two people, you and the passenger. If you have more friends, well, they could Uber. But I think if it's just two people and you want to take a weekend trip or something, this is just fine. Would this car be a good tool for good as a family hauler?
Sure, if you have a family of none, then it's amazing. Yeah, I don't know where you would put a child seat in this thing.
So yeah, this is not a family hauler.
No,
like,
but
if you have smaller, younger kids. Now, if you have older kids, maybe you could take one of the kids out, or
yeah,
the kids could take each other out, or your spouse, better half, partner, whatever, they could go on a spin. But yeah, not all of you together. Definitely not.
No, barely one of you together. I mean, the two of you together. You know, it's. I think what makes this thing a family hauler is that if for some reason your husband or wife is unhappy, take them in this, and then all of a sudden, you know, your mood changes.
Yes, it's more like a peacemaker.
There you go. It's a peacemaker for families.
It's a peacemaker for families. Yeah. Do you think this is a good car for your daily commuting or daily driving?
If you like fun during your daily commute, if you want like a part of your day to be spiced up. I mean, I don't commute anymore. I work from home, but when I did commute, I gotta be honest with you, that commute was something that I look forward to every day, because if you have a fun car that you daily commute in, it just makes your life that much better. So is it a good daily commute? It is for me. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's great.
If you have a tough day or long day at work, driving back home would just feel so much better, and you're just gonna be all smiles when you come back home. And even while going to work, like, you know, think about it, it's Monday morning, you have tons of meetings starting from 9 o'clock.
Yep.
And you wake up on Monday and you're like, oh no, I hate Mondays. Not when you're driving one of these.
Not when you're driving one of these.
Now you might leave your house at 8:45 and you're gonna fly down there. But once you get there, you're just gonna be like, oh, I've had the best start of the morning in my life.
Exactly. I used to look forward to my morning commutes and the evening commute, you know. So I think it's a great daily driver. Really spices up your life.
So in conclusion, this car, it looks gorgeous. We both agree on that. It sounds amazing, especially with the exhaust. On the interior, it's more spacious than you might think it is. It's more comfortable than it looks like.
Yep.
It's a peacemaker, so it's gonna save your marriage.
Definitely.
And like Chris said, it's gonna spice up your life, which in turn is again gonna save your marriage.
There you go.
So all in all, if you want to save your marriage, buy one of these.
That should be exactly the line you say to your wife when you want to buy one of these.
What to say that? Say the same line to your wife or your husband, whoever that's stopping you from buying one of these.
Exactly. Or reason, you know, you don't need a reason to buy it.
You don't need a reason. So this is a first for my channel at Broman. We are actually providing life advice and life lessons.
Life coaching.
Life coaching. The Professor and the Broman. Well, thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you soon. Bro out.
See ya.